going out to the warrior in you, to the healer in you, to the teacher, to the parent, to the divine in you. Warrior in you. Every single day, we are called to walk in our purpose. Answer the call. Lay down your burden and anything that's holding you back and take your rightful place. The battle is everywhere and it's right in your face. Let's go.
Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Success is your destiny. Greetings and welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Welcome back, family. It's been a while. Thank you, Baraka, for the opening. You've been practicing on the horn, brother. Yeah, you had to find that note. I heard it, man. It was resonating.
Yeah. We in effect.
Yeah, it was resonating rather well. I want to thank Brother Ricardo, Jedi Tantra Master, for being present. And before we continue, let's call our ascended master ancestors to come on down so we can have this show rock and roll tonight. I am in me. I am in Baraka. I am in Brother Ricardo. I am in you, the listening audience, now and in the future. I am in all the guests who will be on this platform tonight. We individually and collectively call upon our I am magical magnificence that lives within our hearts. As I always like to say, yes, I am forgiving all souls in my past lives. And I ask all souls in my past lives to please forgive me because I don't remember. And yes, I am forgiving all living souls in this lifetime upon the seas of life. And I ask all the waves of souls and all these various manifestations, human and non-human, to please forgive me. Because we are the ocean of bliss with amnesia to our essence. And we say, Ashe. I'd like to, at this time, invite in the name of love, all of us collectively. Thank you for being born. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for surviving the airport adolescence of our youth. Thank you. And may you remember that you are on a mission that may seem impossible. You are here to make the world a better place. So strive to thrive in all facets of life. So we ask the assistance of our ascended master ancestors, Enoch the Ethiopian, who ascended into the heavens and became Metatron. We want to invite you on the show. Black Madonna, Mother Mary, White Buffalo Calf Woman, Heteru, are set. I would like to invite upon this platform, Yeshua, also known as Isa in Tibet, want to call upon the latest Christ born in the Congo, Simeon Toko, to be on this platform with us tonight, and Sheikh Amadou Bamba, Sheikh Ibrafal, Sanat Kumara, Seraphis Bey, Marcus Mosaic Garvey, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We want to invite Nat Turner, John Brown, Chief Geronimo, Chief Osceola, Great Divine Director, Master Himalaya, all of our ascended Master Atlantean brothers and sisters be with us. Ptahotep, Imhotep, Shroom Masters, Dr. George Washington Carver, Shroom Master Dr. Sabi, Shroom Master Kalindi Aye, be with us on this platform. Ask the presence of Angel of Protection who will take quantum leaps into our lives, Archangel Michael. Please surround and protect all our family, friends, and loved ones as we invoke you to be with us so that we are impervious to all forms of chaos and anything less than love supreme. We call upon Angel of Healing, Archangel Raphael, to be with us tonight. Archangel Gabriel, Angel of Strength, to be with us. Archangel Uriel, Angel of Knowledge and Enlightenment, to be with us on this platform tonight. We ask the presence of our ascended master ancestors and also our aunties and uncles and grandmas and cousins who may be beyond the veil of physical life, who are serving the rhythmic drumbeat of love supreme. We call upon the presence of all of our ascended master comedians, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Flip Wilson, Moms Mabley, and you can name the rest. But we're inviting them to be on the show tonight because bliss is best. And together we say, Ashe, Mahalo, Donada, Wado, Amen. And so it is. And here we got Adara in the house too.
Good evening. How are you all?
Okay, so we're going to wing this because I haven't done it in this style. So I think it's appropriate that I'll open like this. And I got these clips lined up. So family, I want to thank all of you who are in the chat. There's a bunch of folks here um, looking to listen to us tonight. Let's see. We got Walk Within. We got somebody say, Boy. These sessions of high quality, big up Royals. Surfs Up. All right. Dwayne Johnson. Good to see you again, brother. And we got Lightbird. Grateful to be here. We got Rob Moses. Rob Moses, you're going to have to come up with some new bars, man. You keep saying the same thing. Come on, man. You're supposed to be representing us over the 60 cycles, brother. Come on. We want to see your current and wattage. You got to come up with some new bars, brother. Represent. Good evening, Anita family. Anita Stevens. We got also T-Hell Peace Soul family. Yeah, say it has been a while. All right, Miss Vicky. Also acknowledge Melissa. I can only see it so good with my sunglasses on because I'm just too cool tonight. All right. Yeah, let's open up with Brother James.
Welcome, world. I want to say namaste. We're here in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, and my name is Dr. J. We're located at KB Body Bar at 870 Nostrand Avenue, and we want to share with you Tantra for the evening.
All right. So even though he's not in the queue, he's still here in spirit. Before we begin, family, a lot of us, we're going to start from the beginning because many of you may not even know what Tantra is or touchless bliss is. So I'm going to give the floor to you, Adara and Ricardo. What is touchless Wait a second. What is touches orgasm? Because I got a clip of you, Baraka, breaking it down, and that's sitting here on standby. I got that locked and loaded, but I'm gonna let's see if the Dara and Ricardo give some extra spice to the video before it plays.
Okay, I'll pass it to Rick first. Go ahead, brother.
No, I always have to yield to the queen first.
All right, so I'm gonna play the video because y'all just rolled it over to the video, then we'll cover it. Let's see how that goes, okay?
Peace, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. We are here live in Brooklyn with a Tantric master, Sister Adara. Please welcome, behold the sister.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me. Glad to be here as always.
Now, I understand you have come a long way to show us and demonstrate for us Tantra. But first, please tell us, what is Tantra?
Thank you. I did come a long way, and very well said. Your voice is very smooth. I appreciate that. So Tantra is a system of building your spiritual energy using your sexual power, right? And after refining of your sexual power, you reach higher levels. You have healing experiences, enlightenment experiences, pleasure experiences, and then you have ways of tapping into your higher bodies, you know, your astral body, etheric body, dark matter body, all type of things back into your DNA ancestry and bringing back gifts of your line specifically to you. So I do Grand Trine Tantra specifically. I understand other Tantras, but that is the goal of your Grand Trine Tantra, is to turn you back to your original DNA blueprint and help you awaken to your DNA mastery. So that's what we're going to be doing a little bit tonight.
All right, that was a start.
It was definitely a start.
Yeah.
It works, right?
Yeah, it's working. It's working. So y'all not, now that you got a little bit of oil on the floor, go ahead and slide into the education.
Okay, well, Tantra, for those who are not aware, like I said, is a system of using your sexual energy to build up your chi force, your life force energy, physical health and vitality, to reach higher aspects of yourself and higher states of consciousness. Right. You also are using it to tap into your emotions and memories and all of those things. Right? So there's several different types of Tantra. There's Tibetan Tantra. There's Hindu Tantra. There's Native American, all type of stuff. And the Grand Trine Tantra system is a mix of a lot of indigenous styles that are not necessarily more popularized, you know, in the Hindu and Tibetan ways. You know, so that's where that came from. So the mission is slightly different, which is why I had to spell that out. The mission of all Tantra is to be your best self, right? Sometimes it gets a little bit limited in just to the orgasm and just to squirting and, you know, nipple play and stuff, which is all great. But, you know, the goal of all systems is come back to oneness with the supreme. So, you know, that is what we're trying to do here by projecting energy, chi energy, prana, all of those things through your meridian system, similar to acupuncture. It's the same meridian systems, but we're just not using needles. We are using intended Kundalini or refined Kundalini, or let's say spiritized. You know, it has consciousness. So.
Wow, that's great. Okay, brother Ricardo, you got the platform, brother. Talk to us.
I studied with the Grand Trine system as well. So everything that Dara has outlined, is part of my path. I've also tapped in a bit to some other Tantra systems. So overall, everything that she said is right on point. At the core of it, I just want to add that for folks that are not familiar with Tantra, it's not something that is foreign to you. It's within you. It is you. So the system of Tantra is poised to enable you to reconnect to yourself. As an example, I came to it from a sexual point of view, but it goes far deeper and is more expansive than just sex or sexual play. As Adara outlined, there's healing aspects to this. I mean, we're all walking around, moving around, feeling a sense of lack of wholeness, regardless of whether or not we feel that we are whole or not. We our bodies, our physical bodies, our energetic bodies, are carrying around a lot of trauma experiences, and from birth, generational epigenetic stuff that is being passed through our genetic line. And so the system and the practices within Tantra helps us to tap into the core of our higher selves, break free of those traumatic bonds, and live our highest and best lives.
Wow. You know, what I find is so radical about watching the both of you doing your work is that this goes beyond, there's no need for religion, there's no need for drugs, there's no need for alcohol, there's no need for, uh, it just takes the person's individual, it's like y'all was just peeling away what was blocking them from experiencing their own heavenly bliss. It wasn't no religion, it was no hallelujah, it was no uh it was just like as if our core is all the ecstasy we can ever imagine. Does that make sense, Sister Adama? I mean Adara?
Absolutely, it does. And excuse me, I just wanted to say that one thing I've experienced while doing this, well, this is a shamanic tantra system, right? So when you start talking about shamanism, you start talking about spiritual interaction, right? So in my course of studying with Grand Trine specifically, I was groomed to do the rituals, right? They took me under their wing and they showed me how to do ritual, how to deal with spirit. And we've had so many different rituals where we had angels there at the same time as we've had Yoruba deities. At the same time, we've had European or Celtic ones and Native Americans all in the same room now, all agreeing on the same points. Right. So
Wow.
that this doesn't work with this and but you got to understand that at this point, spirit is on a mission and the truth is the truth. So they're gonna get in line with the truth. You see what I'm saying? So if your heart is pure, then you experience a lot of different things. And so it surpasses religion, it surpasses race, it surpasses everything. It just, I'm not saying Grand Trine talks, but when you get into this part of your spirit, you're not concerned with the divisive things of duality as much.
So I have a clip of when the both of you was elevating our volunteer, Sister Deborah, and it was amazing because the room was full of observers, and it was as if the men and women have never seen the ecstasy of a sister being expressed so beautifully. So do y'all have anything to share before we put this clip up?
Oh no, go for it.
Here we go.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, they're right in my bag.
Damn!
Wow. 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 Wow.
That's new religion. That's a new religion called ecstasyism. I'm going to join. Praise the Lord.
The crazy thing is, I feel it like I'm there again. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
stuff, man.
Real
And
quick, I'd
people
like to take this
listening in the chat,
opportunity.
did y'all see that? Because when was the last time? That was better than a Friday night movie.
Yes. Yes. With
I was
popcorn.
reaching for some popcorn.
Yeah, that was better. That was better than Netflix and chill.
You got that right. Folks in the chat, have you ever seen the beauty of a Black woman orgasming like that?
And you know, we always in our mind assume that orgasm has to be all loud and thrashing, but when Kundalini is moving smoothly without all those blockages, you know, you just rattling off, and she might just lay there like she's dead, but she's somewhere else because you know the energy just takes you elsewhere. You know, it's nice, man. It's nice.
She definitely was somewhere else. Sister Adara, peace to you. Brother Ricardo, peace to you. If it's okay, I just want to jump right in. I want to bring up something. So that night when we were there, you started doing some preliminary works on the volunteer, and you were whispering in her ear. And I think somebody said, "Well, hold on, we're not ready," or something along those lines. And your response was, "Oh, don't worry, we're just getting warmed up, because a woman needs to feel comfortable, and she needs to feel secure and safe before she can undertake something like that." And I want you to know that even though I'm aware of that, when you said it, it really resonated with me, and I really understood it. And yeah, it was just so powerful. But what I'm getting at is what brother Ricardo was talking earlier about, how sometimes trauma can come up. Can you speak a little bit about how important it is for the woman specifically to feel comfortable and secure, and then how does trauma get in the way of bliss?
That's a good question.
Well, if I may, there's a couple of things as a practitioner through the Grand Trine system and other tantric systems where there's a level of grounding, right? So if you're just coming off work and you get on the table, there's a period of time where you need to kind of get out your head space and get into your body. So because of the nature and natal aspects of a woman, most women are more in touch with their bodies than men. So it becomes a little easier for them to fall into to their body. However, from a comfort zone point of view, it's if she doesn't feel comfortable in the environment, comfortable with herself, or have any kind of um, inhibitions towards expressing herself, then she may fight or constrict the flow of the energy. So part of what we do that's happening that the 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 viewer or the people in the room may not be aware of is we're working with her energy to help get her out of her head and more into her body for her to be um, in that space where the energy can just flow.
Now that's very deep, brother. You said get the woman out of her head. So I think of the women that I know that are so into their head that they are totally disconnected from their yoni bliss. What tell us about how being all head heavy makes a woman off, like, is there an imbalance if someone, a woman or a man, is all in their head?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We want the energy to flow seamlessly, right? We're a whole body system, correct? But at the same time, when a woman's in her body all the time, she's not productive in society, right? So it's an issue, so it's hard for us to make a switch from working and being in traffic and doing this for that and and then like all of a sudden be this sensual thing. Hey, and all this, all of that. So same thing with men. We think a lot. We're very left brain, but when you're doing Tantra and you're trying to reach high levels of orgasm, you need to be in your right brain, right? You need to be fully in your right brain. You almost want to stop thinking, period. It's not that you're stop thinking. It's like your analyzing faculty is off. That's the goal, right? And it takes some time. And I suggest that people switch the analyzing faculty into exploratory faculty. And just like I tell everybody, experience this like you're watching yourself in a movie, right? Wow. Yeah, see yourself in a movie. You're just sitting back and then watch yourself. Like, what is this feeling? I'm seeing it, and I'm feeling.
Okay, I think her connection.
Right. Oh, am I back?
Okay, you back. Made me think of Brother Dooley for a second.
I be seeing my router and everything. I was like, man, not tonight, guys, not tonight. But Spirit is on me and messing my electronics. But what was the last thing you guys heard me say?
We was talking about the being in the head space and versus being in full body space. And yes. Ricardo, can you build on that?
Yes.
I think she wants to finish that up. I just want to.
Well, yeah. I was just saying that because I got slightly thrown off as well when I realized my.
You were saying that for a woman to be at work and be in her head and then to come home and have to be this feeling being.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And the same thing with the men. Like, you want your left brain to shut off pretty much, so your right brain can take over because your indwelling intelligence lies there, right? Your indwelling intelligence knows how to heal itself. It knows where the trauma is lying. It knows the source of the trauma. It knows all of these things. You see, it knows what you like. It knows all of this stuff. So the things that you are denying, right? The things that you're denying, it will help move out the way. So people have a hard time feeling the things that they deny, which is another reason why they want to stay in their head and not in their body, right? Wow. Our vaginas talk a lot. If a woman was conscious with her vagina all day, she may not get nothing done either, but it's always telling you something about your decisions, about this person, that person, sensing stuff. It's a very active center. So if you're listening to her all day, you're not going to get your business done, really and truly. But I was saying we should turn the analyzing faculty off. Just turn the analyzing faculty off. And Ricardo, I'll pass it to you at that point. I'm going to try and switch my connection and see if that doesn't help.
So far, that was great. Okay,
I'll stay there.
You ready, Ricardo?
Yeah.
Jedi, Bliss, Ricardo.
I'll use an analogy. Like when you are being in touch with your body, and this applies to both men and women. men really need to be in touch with our bodies. But when you feel fear or anxiety, like where does that occur within your body? Like when you feel excited, where do you feel that in your body? Like your brain registers it, but your body registers it. So when we're talking, we talk about centers within the body, meridian systems, nervous systems that flow and connect. So one of those systems that we talk about frequently is the seven chakra system. So the root is like your foundation, and then you have your sacral, solar plex, heart, and throat that most people can relate to. When you're feeling into your body, it's kind of like paying attention to if you feel anxious, do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel it in your navel area, or do you feel it in your groin, your pelvic floor?
Wow.
Right? If you're walking down the street and somebody startles you, right? You have a oh man.
Take your time, brother.
Physiological.
Not our native tongue.
These tongue twisters for me. Reaction. And so the fight or flight kicks in. But before even that happens, it registers most oftentimes in your root. But in the process of it occurring, when things are happening to you, if you're attentive to that, then you're able to sense. The question was asked about trauma, like where are things manifesting? Adara said it quite succinctly in terms of if a woman is paying attention to her yoni, there's a lot that can be revealed to her. Same thing for a man. I mean, ask the question just for the men in the audience to think about. Can you tell at this point where your penis is? What side of your body? You may know which side of it, whether or not it leans left or right or straight down, but can you feel it right now in this space and time? Can you identify like what it feels like, how flaccid it is or not? Most men are not able to do that. It took me several years of being attentive to be able to say, I can just sit and be still and like, okay, I'm acknowledging you. I can feel where you are, right?
Wow.
And that type of presence within your body is what, when we're working with someone on the table, you want to get them to that space. So that means they're not thinking about what happened today or what they got, the dinner that they're going to make or the laundry that they have to do or the bill they have to pay. This way, with that level of connection, then things starts to open up and allow energy to flow.
Absolutely.
And energy will go where it needs to go. Like sometimes
Thank you.
we may be directing it at a particular area, but another area needs it and it'll go there.
Well, I want to give a special shout out to Master Yao.
Yeah.
Master Yao Morris. I think that was him.
Yeah.
And he was laughing. And I want to also acknowledge Master Nit Yama. I also want to acknowledge Nikki Experience. And you know what was deep, y'all? When I got on headphones, and I know the speaker on my computer is also working, but my Himalayan Persian female cat insisted after she heard that woman's song to be in my lap. And she is purring. I'm gonna put the mic so you can hear it. She's like, okay, we got Bliss tonight. I got some too. Hold on. Y'all hear that?
No, it's not coming through loud.
Man, I can hear that. Y'all just got to turn the volume up. But she's in my lap.
Hey,
I'm gonna
girl.
put her down. You gotta put her down, baby.
Little Simba cat.
Yeah,
So
it's like,
a moment ago,
I know that language. I'm going to share what our volunteer Deborah said she felt.
I could feel the sensations in my head, back here. I could feel tingling right along inside of my brain. Wow. My whole body is still trembling, especially the below
Dancing in
this
bliss.
area was trembling, a lot of trembling. A vibration or a sensation around in this area, and a little wetness.
I want to thank you. I want to thank the artist.
Keep going. There you go, right there.
I want to thank the artist for his channeling.
Could you give us some feedback on what you experienced and what you were doing?
I was vibrating with her energy and basically allowing her energy and her body to guide me as to what to do and how to move. So you mentioned about feeling sensations and tingling in your sacral and your root chakra area. I also felt the need to open up your heart space and strengthening the connection of your heart space to your root and your sacral chakra. And when I started doing that, in addition to the support that Adara was giving you at the time, you know, that's when I felt you open up more. I also, not sure what your history is in relationship to being safe and being in a safe environment with the masculine. I felt your body needed reassurance. So at one point I started bypassing your brain and talking directly to your body. And at the point that I did that, then it was, you know, that's when the vibration started happening. You know, whatever that needed to come to the surface to be released, the body was in agreement, and then the energy started to flow.
Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you. That was incredible.
That was amazing.
I did
Thank you.
feel like this area when in the beginning, like this area was like pumping, not like vibration, but like pulsing, like, and it was like all around this area, and I guess that's my heart chakra. So wow. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And thank you, Adara. Any words?
Thank you. You just did wonderful. You did absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
I think the whole room could probably feel it. I felt it.
Was your brothers able to feel it?
Yes, felt that. Outside the room.
Yeah.
You see, that energy radiates, I don't know how far. That's like quantum healing.
Yes.
Powerful.
Powerful.
Hey, listen, Sister Adara, you are a bad sister. And Brother Ricardo, you are a bad man.
Thank
For
you.
real.
Thank
But
you.
I wanted to ask though, so at one point earlier, Sister Adara, you were talking about the left brain and the right brain. And Brother Ricardo was also talking about men specifically needing to be more sensitive. So I guess I'll just jump right to it and say, what's it like though to be so sensitive to others' energies as you move around in the world? Do you find yourself having to always have to clean yourself of other people's energies? Do you find yourself getting sort of a heads up about somebody's energy before they even open their mouth? And can that be scary sometimes?
Well, yes, actually. How I actually got into this work was I thought I had anxiety. And it turns out that I was an empath. And the feelings that I interpreted as anxiety were other people's feelings and emotions. Right. So, and I used to joke for years that there's no good benefit to being an empath, but healing and such it comes natural to an empathic person, because to move things, to do telepathy, all those things, you need empathy with. Well, that's a way of doing it is with empathy, right? So at this point in my journey, I'm very good with protecting myself. I have wards in my energy, like people can't read me even. Like if I went to like New Orleans or something and sat down with a reader, they couldn't read me. I do a lot of clearing. I do a lot of spirit baths. I do a lot of grounding, but more so, I have a team of spirits that have come around me since I started doing more of the healing work, and they keep me clear. When I have had attachments. I'm very transparent about that. Have found energetic attachments on myself, but I always have some kind of trigger to let me know that it's there. And then luckily, I'm blessed to be around so many people who are adequate at dealing with it. That is good. But yeah, I just really learned how to manage my energy, keep it in. So for me, I give a lot, I care a lot. So that's one reason why I don't really do readings. I don't really listen. I mean, I listen to people's details, but I can't listen too much because I'll get too attached. So I've learned how to not engage in a lot of different things and how to keep my energy pretty clear. Also, I deal in generals. So if I'm projecting love, it's general love for you. It's not I love you, Barack. I mean, yeah, it is I love you, Barack, but it's not like I'm in love with you and did it. It's more like I am love. Let me shower you with that.
Right.
So it's not. You see what I'm saying? It's not that. It's more so let me, like you said, give you what your body is asking for and show you that it's you. You see what I'm saying? So it's a little technique to it. There's technique to it.
Yeah, I want to.
Hey, Brother Ricardo, excuse me one second. Could you address that, Brother Ricardo? Because I really wanted to hear that. Thank you, Sister Adara. But I really wanted to hear that answer from the perspective of a brother. Could you, in terms of, having feelings and being sensitive, the empath, all of that, being sensitive to people's energy?
From my perspective, my empathic sensitivity is low. What I mean by that is I'm not consciously connecting to people around me and their energies, but I am generally aware if someone has malcontent towards me. I can feel that. It's for me. It's sort of like, yeah, I'm not vibing with you. I'm going to move over here. As opposed to like in the example that Adara gave of feeling, so mine is a little different. I know men that do the work that are more sensitive and open than I am per se. But at the same time, when I'm doing the work, I'm doing things for myself to make sure that I'm protected. And like Adara says, mentioned clearing.
That's interesting. I want to build on that because what I found is working with crystals. They say the difference between a rock and a crystal. Crystal's organized on the molecular level. And if you're handling and if you're focusing on a crystal, it has a resonance where it organizes and clears your sensitivity so that you're in sync with the crystal energy. And I found it easier to vibe onto people, Baraka and family, but it was like a detached vibe. It was like watching TV, to the point that I would actually start hearing organs speaking in the person if I cue in. It's almost like it opens up like not a kaleidoscope, but like a rippling magnifying glass. But unless I need to, I won't open that portal. But working with crystals, just handling them and wearing them, that heightens sensitivity because we all walking with our cell phones. We know that when we call someone, if they don't pick up, they're looking at the crystal, liquid crystal display and decided not to connect through the crystal medium of a cell phone. And you can pick up all these subtleties, but you sort of like compassionately don't give a hoot. But what I want to move to, Adara, Brother Ricardo, is sounds while the volunteer was going through ripples. I heard on the video, while also when I was there, like you would speak and encourage her, like you were saying certain words. Adara, could you touch on that and follow up, Ricardo?
Yes, we work big with tones. So when I was encouraging her, that was more so like Ricardo was saying about making her feel safe. Like we need to know that it's okay for us to do what we're going to do. That's most people's hang up. Like, how are people going to see us if we become orgasmic? If we do something, should I be embarrassed? Should I, whatever? So I had to let her know that, baby girl, you got to grab your bliss. You got to grab your joy. Like this is a liberation act. This is an act of bravery. This is an act of you reclaiming yourself. You see what I'm saying? So I'm encouraging you, like just like when you're in intercourse and a man's encouraging you to orgasm. And like that's a wonderful thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he's encouraging you to, like, if you're into the squirting thing, I do sometimes. I'm not really big on it or whatever. But if they're encouraging you to it and you're afraid of it, it gives you a more of a doorway to do this thing, because most of the time you're afraid of what he's gonna think or da 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 da. So while supporting Rick was making a whole field of support and comfort for her to feel safe in, using where I am as my receptivity for masculine energy to bring her up to where I am as far as not being. I really have no qualms with masculine energy, though it does things to hurt you sometimes. I don't have an issue with it in general. So I was doing that, and then we use words of power and tones and frequencies, right? Some of the things that I was saying were elemental frequencies, right? To talk to the water in her body. Orgasm is watery. I use water to help open up the meridians and things of that nature. The emotions are watery, all those type of things. And the emotions are magnetic, which I spoke of in one of the clips. But yeah. I was just talking to different natures of her spirit and her body.
That's beautiful. And before you speak, Ricardo, when I used to do foot massages at the open events like Harlem Week, African Arts Festival, Dance Africa, I used to have a sister, Miss. I would have on the headphones. She would have on the headphones, and I would be in altered states listening to meditation music. And every now and then I would move my headphones, and there would be sisters supporting the sister saying, "Get it, girl. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Get it, girl." And um, I was like, I was still had some naivety about myself.
Mm-hmm.
But what I noticed is like certain women have a problem if a brother starts saying, "Yeah, baby, spell my name." What's that about?
Uh, well, first of all, um, our orgasms are deemed to be private. Our sexual selves, our sexual beingness is deemed to be private, not to be experienced or viewed by the multitude. So, from that point of view, and um, from that point of view, it's it's kind of okay for her not to want to hear those things because it goes back to her feeling comfortable. So I'm going to go back to Deborah in the room, right? She knew everyone. She was familiar with everyone that was there. However, again, her orgasm in her history, and I don't know her history, um, is conditional. I'm assuming is a conditional to her and her partner. So for her to come out of her brain and reside in her heart space and in her body to allow the energy flow, she needed. I felt she needed reassurance. I felt that she needed to be comforted and to let her know that it's okay. So that's in tandem. And Adara and I was doing it without even communicating with each other. It was just instinctive. It was sensing and recognizing that she needed support. So I wasn't concerned about anyone else in the room but her on the table and what she needed, how I was being guided to support her to allow those valves to loosen in order for the energy to flow. And the energy in this case that you witnessed was orgasmic, but there was more happening than within the orgasm or the sounds and the adulation of her body. And that's more advanced stuff.
Yeah, this reminds me, like I said, y'all starting a new religion of bliss. And our folks are colorful when we go to church.
Yeah.
When the preacher starts speaking, or whether male or female, there's like a call and response, and I saw that call and response starting to be crescendo, and in that call and response crescendo, I noticed that it would also bring up those who are not used to feeling the holy gasmic ghost would start to get uncomfortable. So this discomfort, how do we deal with as you creating, and I'm gonna say this, Master Yao and Nit Yama, y'all creating a new generation of bliss gasmic holy rollers, because that's exactly what is going on. Like going to church and getting the ghost, but you getting the gasms, and then you have the audience calling, responding to the one who's having the bliss. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
A woman.
Amen. Amen.
Mhm. Mhm. All right, we got Brother Jason here, and Brother Jason, we got you on tape too, brother. You want to say hello to the audience before we roll your tape?
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Bless. Good. Great to see you guys. Ashe to everyone. Good evening. And repeat the question, please.
That's all right, brother. You already in trance from the conversation, man. You're good, brother. Here we go. Y'all ready? Check this out.
Let's do it. Hi everyone, my name is Adara Moselle. I'm a tantric body worker, tantric shaman, and today we're going to be demonstrating some tantric body work on my friend Jay. This is the owner of KB Body Bar in Brooklyn, New York. All right.
And who are these lovely sisters?
Say it. Sister Sunata.
Sister Deborah. Sister Shona RB Rising. BK
Yes. So they're going to be assisting me. Once I get the energy flowing, I'm going to tell them what to do to, help projecting in the session, and then we're just going to just overload them with some love. Why not, right?
Well, some people might say he went to heaven.
I like to agree. I like to agree. So if you, like I said, if you feel anything, great. Don't try to feel anything, but also don't try to fight it. You want to keep your hands and your feet apart and your teeth slightly open. Yeah, keep that jaw relaxed, nice and loose. Okay. If you feel a desire to cry, scream, scratch, if you get a retch, any of those things is quite okay. Everything's okay. So there's nothing for you to do here other than be yourself, relax, just be happy with the man that you've become, all the successes you've had in your life. All right, the fact that you can host this space, these are things to be proud of. And it's a testament to your strength and your success and everything like that, right? So we're grateful for you. Okay. So ladies, that's how you always want to come into a session. You want to feed them.
Okay. Do you remember that, Dr. J?
I do.
So tell us what you was feeling, because I didn't get the clip of where he started doing thunder kicks on the table.
Oh, you didn't get it? Oh.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I witnessed it, but I realized I didn't put that clip. Dr. J started, hey, listen, family. Dr. J started doing thunder kicks on the table. You remember that, Baraka?
So no, because he had the masculine energy, he was surrounded by the feminine energy, which I have a question about that in a few minutes. But no, I didn't witness the brother's body work.
Oh man, let me tell you something. Now, Deborah danced and Dr. J started kicking. Tell us, Adara, tell us about this polarity, because we got so many sisters say, I don't want a man working on me. I just want a woman to work on me. But I noticed in the subtleties that you were supporting Ricardo. It was as if you was giving him your yin Shakti, and he somehow was projecting that male yang energy. I want y'all to touch on that. Please.
I love to. So with Grand Trine Tantra, one of the main tenets is dealing with the house of the man and the house of the woman, which are the attributes of masculine and feminine energy, right? So that's one of the main reasons why the man works for the woman and the woman works for the man, because the theory is a lot of the healing is happening because his divine essence, his divine masculinity is activating her divine femininity, right? It's not so much a cell body thing, right? So when I was projecting through Ricardo, I was doing things to enhance his divine masculine blueprint so that when he projects, it's more pure and divine. You see what I'm saying? So that means all of the things that are out of alignment with her natural blueprint will be shaken away. So that's why we work on ourselves. You see what I'm saying? That's why we do certain, it's in the psychology of why and how we're doing the work. So I was projecting into his heart, like from the back into his heart. I was also empowering his prostate and his heart at the same time. Because we men have an auric penis, right? So by me doing this and sending this type of energy, it's strengthening his auric penis. You know, I'm strengthening his confidence, his ability to be compassionate, to open his heart. I'm putting joy into his heart. I'm doing all type of things like that. You know, I'm making sure his brain is balanced and keeping his attention focused so that he's not getting lost in her bliss. Because when a woman gets orgasmic, it's intoxicating. Right.
Yeah, you got that right. That's a whirlpool. It got intoxicating to my kitty cat just hearing it.
Right. I was moaning, but he wasn't. He was stable the whole time. Even afterwards, when she was like, "I'm wet," he was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was stable.
So it's like that orgasm is a contagious fire.
Oh yeah.
So people can possibly catch orgasmic like spirit frequency.
Yes. So I would say it's more watery. So let's say you drop, like you pour some water on two sides of the table, eventually and they're pretty close, they're going to come together. It's the same thing more so with women, right? So I'm often used as a satellite for energy. So they get my energy up and then I'll project it up, connect it to the women, and then everybody's shooting energy all over the place. And then the men start feeling it, they shoot it back to the women, and that goes. And then next thing you know, you got this sexy ass pie going on, right? And you cut it with a knife, right? So I have some videos of that on my Instagram if you want to check that out. I can send you some if you want to put them up there. But yes. The brothers can tap in, the women can tap in, animals, everything, everything. The air pressure literally changes. You know, if you have a barometer, you can tell the air pressure changes.
Yeah, I think it causes crystals to glow too.
Oh yeah.
See, at the core of it, we're talking about energy, and the space between space, and so from the space between space has atoms and they're colliding. So once the energy starts to move, if you're open, you're susceptible, you will feel.
And what Ricardo just said is a huge thing, like for healers in general, right? When you're sending energy and you get into space between the space, if there's a blockage, the blockage is made up of mostly space. If you project into that space, you dissolve the blockage, guys. It's just that simple. Deal with, most things are empty. The space in the atom is more than what is actually in the atom, the proton, all that stuff, right? So it's a real key way of doing things and dealing with anything. The space between your thoughts is what we talk about in meditation. The space in music, it was what makes music good. If it's a long sound, it's a dial tone. You see what I'm saying? Or just a beep. You need the space to make it musical. Right. And I was giving her space to be comfortable, him space to be a man, and all of us had space to grow.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to move to the next clip. This is what I believe this was after Dr. J Thunder Kicks experience.
The room has so many different dynamics to it. And just chills. Yeah.
And letting you know it's okay to cry. Yeah. Let it out. You are human. Let it out. So we can have the best of you.
Yes.
Let it out.
And it's so hard for them because they're socialized against it.
I know.
Yeah, it's like, just think about it, like men have a natural desire to use aggression, but they can't do it anywhere. If they stand up for themselves at work, they get fired. If they, you know what I'm saying? If you have a knife, you're going to jail.
Right.
If you have a gun up here, it's freaking crazy. I'm from Georgia. Everybody has a gun. So it's like, I'm supposed to walk around and possibly get mugged and not have anything I can do about it? Like, as a man, You see what I'm saying? I know people still have them, but like,
oh, this is such a powerful session.
Yeah, our men are beautiful.
Black men and black women that's finally coming together in love.
Yeah, like why not? Why?
And heal and build and elevate. Yes. Embrace. Yes. Connect. Respect.
I don't know him from Adam, but I want him to be whatever he wants to be with himself.
100%.
You know?
Yep.
I want him to have the life he wants for himself. And if I help a little bit and he doesn't hurt the next woman, I've done my job.
That's what I said. Ashe.
That's what it is, right?
Yes.
It ain't about money. Like, money's great, but there's so many ways to make money. If we do this,
so we have to do our job too, because the women needs healing, and if the brother's calling and he's telling you what's going through his experience, then you should find a way to respect it. But if she's hurting, she could be damaged goods.
Yeah.
We birth nations, and we could destroy it.
Oh yes, we are powerful. That's what I'm saying. We are the chaos.
Right.
That's why they have the penis.
Right.
Yeah, they have to put focus and attention into that chaos to make
and help
choose
build
option.
the nation. Yes. So we gotta get ourselves in order.
Yes, ma'am. Ladies.
Thank you, Adara. Like healing.
My pleasure. Thank you all for helping me.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, love. I don't know if his wife is here or not, but if she is, this would be a great time for her to come in with him.
I wish she would stay. She left.
Now see that ripple hit all the sisters, Dr. J. What you radiated impacted all the sisters that were surrounding you. Please, Adara, Ricardo, tell us what we just witnessed.
Okay, so in that session, what I had the ladies do was to project the best version of femininity that they could think of to him, right? So it was 4 of us. So there was 4 types of wonderful femininity that he could choose from. So whatever it is that his masculine energy or his spirit wanted, it could feed there, right? So we just tried to give him the best, like you said, love supreme. So the energy was moving pretty good, and I saw that he was getting to the point where he might start possessing a little bit if we kept going. So we just kind of like kept him in a certain area so he can like commune, he can have his experience, his memories, or however whatever he's going through, but not tip over until one of the ancestors coming through, which is kind of what that kicking was about. So yes. So that was just bathing in love, man. Like, when was the last time somebody loved you, didn't want anything from you for no reason? Like, that's what the Most High does.
Yeah, for real.
You see what I'm saying? So that's all we were doing.
I see a note in here. Gigi, you say you left me a message a few weeks ago. Sister, hit me back. Don't fall. Make believe I got your paycheck. Gigi, make believe I got your paycheck. You know, don't just hit me up one time. You know, it's crazy functional chaos here. But reach out to me again. And pardon if I didn't get back to you in time. But coming back to Dr. J, we got another clip where he landed after having a little bit of time in the zone. How you feel, man?
Definitely feel good.
Right on. You're surrounded by 4 sisters, man. They were all directing energy at you.
Bro, like, did you see me?
Yeah. We saw you.
Yeah, spasms.
Yeah.
Muscle spasms.
Listen, it's like
you was working through an earthquake.
It's like I was gyrating, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't control it, so I'm like, why am I gyrating? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get erect or anything like that, but I just felt like my I had to gyrate, and then me not controlling it is what made me smile. I'm like, what's going on here?
Wow.
And it felt good, good. And I felt it going through my legs, and then everything like electrical felt like,
wow.
I couldn't control my feet, and it just had me jolting. And then when it came up, it just a big emotion. This I couldn't control it. Just made me cry. Yeah.
That's it. That's good. Right on, brother.
What's up?
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Ashe.
Thank you.
Ashe. That was good.
That was a cool experience, man. I have to say, one of a very unique experience. It's something I feel that everyone should have an experience with, to have a personal enlightenment. And I really appreciate that Adora came down from her state to come to our rotten apple of New York and shed light.
That is funny, bro.
Let's take them there. You're right.
So, you know, it's an experience I'll never forget, and it definitely, as someone who considers himself to be a temple healer, because I've been doing massages for over 20 years, and to understand that there's something greater than yourself that's out there, and that took out all doubt out of my mind, that, you know, there's levels to this. You know, I've done Reiki, depending on how you pronounce it, and it definitely made me see that we are powerful as human beings. We are gods. We can control our destiny. We can control the elements around us. We just have to really tap in. And it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. And again, I appreciate you guys for giving your talents, sharing with people, letting people know that there is another level of an experience that you need to tap into. And for that, I say Ashe.
Ashe.
Thank you for letting us do that for you. I was honored to work for you. No, thank you. Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you for supporting me. I was glad to have you there.
For sure.
I would say that I'm grateful for Dr. J for stepping in and having the experience. Men need this. The sisters, the women, they'll show up because they're oftentimes seeking to elevate themselves, seeking to release or to get to a space where they can be their highest and best selves, right? Men, brothers, oftentimes think that they're good wherever they are and they don't need anything else. Watching the experience of seeing the feminine supporting the masculine in that way was tremendous. And like, not quite in the same way, but when Deborah was on the table, there were more men in the room, right? So the dynamics was a little different, but being in awe of what they were experiencing, they were also open, and that added to the energy and flow that was occurring. I definitely recommend men to, seek out Adara, seek out getting the work, getting this work done, learning and becoming more in tuned and centered within themselves.
Beautifully said, brother.
In doing that, then they become tremendous, more tremendous assets to the women in their lives. And again, on an advanced level, we're talking about our bloodlines.
Wow. In terms of the masculine and the feminine energies, first of all, that experience was just really, really powerful, and I wasn't even on the table. But, I was really paying close attention to everything that was being said and everything that was being done. And at one point, some of the sisters had gotten together and they made a request. They wanted to know if they could have a female-only demonstration. And I remember Sister Adara's response was, well, we could do that, but you won't get the same result, is what she said. And then she went a little bit further in terms of the need for the polarity, for women to get masculine energy and vice versa. So in terms of us not getting the same result, in terms of the differences between feminine energy and masculine energy. Is it a fact that some men carry feminine energy and vice versa? And also, if you could just give us a brief description, if you could, of the differences between masculine energy and feminine energy.
That's a lot. You asked 3 questions in one. Baraka, you got to start taking them classes, brother.
No doubt.
He's hungry. Did you hear that? He did 3 questions and then summarized in a statement. Y'all go ahead and try that. I would sit back and
listen,
see how you handle that.
I think these are the questions people want to know, but I want to know too. Yeah.
Which one?
I would start by saying that we're not going to answer. We can't give up everything on the call. We can give you some insights. So the first part of the question is, we both carry masculine and feminine energy. We're duality, right? With women in general, they carry more feminine energy, and men in general carry more masculine energy, right? You know, that's from a natal point of view. Now, in order for me to do certain things, I need to tap into my feminine energy and not necessarily my masculine energy, right? And in other cases, I need my masculine energy, to show up. It's the difference between water being flowing and being frozen, right? So that's my summation response to that question. As far as working with women working on women, I mean, it's a polarity thing in terms of the Grand Trine system. You will get results, but like Adara says, it's not the same. It's, think about batteries, negative and positive, right? When you put the negative to the positive, there's a syncing that happens. When you put the positive to positive, there's a bit of repelling that occurs. So they connect, but they're just not as connected, or like a jigsaw puzzle, doesn't quite fall into place. I've seen in other systems where women work on women and men work on men. But also, I also understand at play that there are levels to the energy work, like Dr. J mentioned about Reiki. So, I may work on a man, as an example, using Reiki, which is a different energy polarity than doing Tantra projection. But I would not work on a man using Tantra projection.
This is a very interesting subject that you brought up, Brother Baraka, because we're dealing with the principles of electricity. When you connect up a circuit with positive to positive, negative to negative, you have something called current, but you don't have voltage increase. And then when you have like a man and woman get together, the man is the voltage and the woman is the current. And that electrical magnetic potential can create sparks and charisma between the polarities of a man and a woman, especially working on with Tesla coils. It's lightning, high voltage lightning, but it doesn't have any current, because the current, or that feminine principle, if you had it on a Tesla coil, it would literally kill you. So you only have high voltage so that you can have that arc going through the air, that plasma. So what you're sharing, Brother Ricardo, and it makes a lot of sense. So, you got to have voltage and current to create what is called wattage or power.
Mm-hmm.
And that creates the spark of life. You
Mm-hmm.
can't have two positive poles or two negative poles. You won't create the spark of life. Adara, can you build on that, please?
Yes, absolutely. So this is a very scientific system. You see what I'm saying? This is not necessarily a very woo-woo system, though, spirits and stuff come in, but at the heart of it, it's a very technical scientific system, right? So we are building currents. That's exactly kind of what we're doing. Even when we're doing some of the hand movements, we're connecting the currents between, let's say, a penis and a lip, right? Which is another current that flows through and connects all of those type of things. The woman's positive pole is the breast heart area. The man's positive pole is the penis area, right? So when you're doing things like the yab yum, or you're doing things like the microcosmic orbit type of situation, or anything like that, that is what is happening specifically. You see what I'm saying? It's pure electricity and magnetism. It's purely scientific, guys. Like the type of water we drink is to create a certain electrical current in our body. This type of supplements that we take, Master Yi has put together some wonderful regimens designed purely to replicate cells properly and to harness electricity within them. Like it's a specific supplement, specific structure of water, specific things here. It's a very well-defined system, actually, if you look at it in those terms. So it's not that a man and a man can't work. They clearly can. There's plenty of systems. Like I work on women all the time, but I don't do the same type of breathing, right? My psychology is not necessarily the same. It's more so bringing her up to a magnetic resonance with myself. So I haven't reached certain orgasmic states, so it's easy for me to parallel that to my sister. Just like playing a note on the keyboard. You have a D in the lower octave, you have a D in the upper octave. If you play them together, you're going to go together. But, you can just move them up and get closer. So at times, I don't just rip people from the low octave to the high octave. You want to take people step by step up. But when you see people having these rapid orgasms, you're jumping octaves quickly. That's what it is. You're boosting wattage quickly. It's a rapid rise in Kundalini. If you want to say that, right? And then when it gets past the throat, when Rick was talking about the chakras, he didn't talk about the upper part because once you stay in the body. So when you come here and go up, you're leaving humanity mostly and going up into the non-human aspects of yourself, right? So your root chakra deals with tribe and stuff. When we start getting up here, it's more self-oriented. And we get up here and ain't got nothing to do with being a human whatsoever. It's about some other stuff, right? So it's just wiring.
This is deep because this reminds me of what Master Nityama said when he was working on men who classify themselves as gay. And he said some. He didn't say there's no absolutes in creation.
Of course not.
He said some of the men who classify themselves as homosexuals or gay, when they reached the heightened bliss that was channeled through Master Nityama, it reset their blueprint to their original design at birth.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them found that they were beginning to now become attracted to women. And
Yes.
what caused that lifestyle was sexual trauma in the childhood years that deviated, bent, and twisted their natural occurring polarity. And through orgasm, and that's what's so deep about this energy, because it's very much like orgone.
Mm-hmm.
It literally, some of them, he said, didn't even come back because it messed with their paradigm. So this almost reminds, it doesn't almost, touchless bliss and orgasmic therapy reminds me a lot of psychedelics. And I believe there's some kind of DMT activation, like psychedelic activation within. Could y'all touch on that, please?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And before I get to that, yes, it happens a lot with the females too. There's a lot of women who are lesbians that get table work and then they start reconsidering if they are, for a number of different reasons. But it's a common thing. As far as the DMT, when you're receiving tantric body work and you reach certain levels, you are creating DMT in the brain. We haven't, I'll get to that later. But yes, you create DMT in the brain by the way that the electricity is moving, access different parts of your brain, the pituitary, the pineal at the same time. There's also like energy centers here. And like people are always blocked right here. Like there's always a hole right here for most people, and energy is just leaking out constantly. That's a tip to a team in the audience. You know what I'm saying? Plug a hole right here. People's flow will start going better. It's a shorten the circuit right in this area. But it's a real chemical thing. It makes more human growth hormone, right? It helps reduce aging. It helps your body become more symmetrical. It helps you it helps your body look better. You know what I'm saying? Men, you look more virile. You're a little bit more stronger. You may not be more in shape, but just something about you is a little bit more, compared, the people of the 70s, the black people of the 70s look way more better and blacker than we do now. Like they just look royal and shiny.
Yeah.
We look kind of, barely making it on average.
From massaging, I remember when I was giving massages to women in their 70s and 80s that were still sexually active.
Mm-hmm.
They had bodies and tissue tone of women in their 30s and 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And women who are not in touch with their bliss, it's almost, and this goes for men too, it almost seems like there's a acceleration of aging and degeneration on the energetic level.
Yeah.
Y'all
The
touch
cells
on
have
that
no wattage. The cells don't have enough wattage to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
They decay quicker than they should. They're replenishing or replicating in a broken way. Weak, like the blood is thicker and not flowing. The red blood cells are more, cold and stuff. They're not full, fat, juicy cells. They're not, you see what I'm saying? But through this, it helps. It just helps.
And it doesn't have to be, what I found is also like when I was I was around 30. I had an older woman. She was about 7-8 years older than me. And we hugged buck ass naked in her waterbed for like 5 to 6 years. And we would do this like weekly, sometimes twice a week. And we never went out on no date. It was almost like what we were doing was recharging each other.
Yeah.
And it was amazing because bliss can be experienced through all the cells. I think there's a G spot in every cell of the body.
I think so too.
I think every cell has 7 chakras. And I think one of the highest priests and priestesses of bliss are comedians. They've documented where comedy heals cancer. Tell us how emotions can affect us, Brother Ricardo.
Well, it goes back to what Adara and I said about trauma and how trauma sits in our bodies, right? Physical manifestations can be the result of emotional issues that are not dealt with. I give you an example, personal example. During my training, during my journey, I attended a retreat with the Grand Trine. That's where I met Adara. And we're in a house, and in the house, we're practicing, and around me are a number of people that are in orgasmic bliss. Adara is working on me, and I'm in my head, and in my headspace, I'm like, how comes I'm not in an orgasmic space? But when I surrendered to letting my body take over and getting out of my mind, I had an experience that I didn't even know that I had as a child, meaning that my parents are from Jamaica. My mother left Jamaica.
Man, you just blew out your sound system, brother. Could y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh,
You see,
okay.
that's
I'm back.
magic right there. You see what happened just then? He spoke on something that I felt emotion, and then the electronics went zip.
Yep, powerful.
So I'm sorry.
Did y'all feel that?
Yeah.
Yes, it will mess your stuff up for real. So I was not joking.
Yo, Ricardo, you just fucked up the electronics, man, because it felt like there was some emotion behind that, and the shit went flatline. You gonna have to re-roll the tape. You said your mama Jamaica, and then everything went blank.
Okay, so all right, so let me roll back the tape. So my mother left Jamaica to come to New York. I was probably around 10 years old. If anyone think about parents from the 60s and 70s, they don't tell children anything, right? So in my experience, having Adara work on me, I'm looking for an orgasmic experience because that's what I'm hearing around me. What happened for me was my 10-year-old self. I had a journey where my 10-year-old self is talking to my mother, telling her that I forgave her for leaving me at 10, and because it hurt. And I'm having the experience being worked on and came out of it. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like, I've never had the thought of that ever. So in sharing, after the sessions were over, I just wept. The 10-year-old me finally was able to express something that I was holding on to. I was in my 40s at the time. So it had been like 30 something years that I didn't know that was there. So the work and the benefit of the work and the healing that occurs within the work is real. Some of these trauma experiences we're aware of, and some of it we suppress. And when it's suppressed, it manifests in different ways in our physical bodies and our behaviors, how we interact with family, friends, community, etc. I'll pull on something Dr. Joy DeGruy, I think that's her name now, spoke on when she talked about in her book that
post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Thank you, post-traumatic slave syndrome. When you talk about growing up in New York City, right? If you're walking around and you see another black man and you look him in the eye, it's the automatic response is, what are you looking at, right? The way she described it or speak to that from a traumatic point of view is like the person being looked at doesn't feel adequate enough or doesn't feel love within themselves to see that this person is looking at me or potentially looking at me and has no harm or malice towards you, but their response, because they've got stuff that they're unresolved, is to kind of lash out. So we have different ways in which these traumatic experiences that resides in us. We have different ways of how we express that until we get to that point where we start excavating, bringing that stuff to the surface and letting it go. Then we're continually hampered in our growth to experience our highest and best selves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hank, you muted?
Yeah, I was saying that's real talk because I was talking to my kitty cats. They're just around me listening to this conversation.
They like the truth, man. They like the truth and open.
Yeah. That's real stuff.
Yeah. And they act so incognito, like they just licking their paw and listening to the conversation.
It's the energy
stuff here. And what I really appreciate about you, Dr. J, and also appreciate Sister Deborah, because she's on another business line. Is that you volunteered? You had the fortitude,
yes,
to become energetically buck ass naked, like an entertainer or actor or a comedian, where you literally allowed you gave permission to other men and other women that it's okay to be in bliss in public, where the colonized projection of the colonized rules, you hide it in the deepest, darkest um, hollows of your closet to express ecstasy. But it's okay.
Right.
Violence right on the corner.
Right. It's crazy.
It's really, we've been conditioned to be out of our rabbit ass minds.
Yes, 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 yes.
Think about it. Why would you be ashamed of what brought you here? Like, it's so ridiculous.
Exactly.
It's so ridiculous. You know, seriously. I just, I don't know.
You know what Brother Ricardo was saying just now, for me resonated. My takeaway from the whole experience, which is that, you know, I mean, I knew it on a certain level, and I think we all know it on a certain level. But when you actually realize that sex is spiritual, it takes you to a whole nother level. But also, you know, in terms of what the brother was just saying, it's like, to me, it's like the realization that, you know, in life, like we constantly have to, double check ourselves and find ways to resolve conflict, find ways to resolve trauma. There's no shortcuts. There's no other way around it. Like, we have to handle those traumatic experiences. I mean, we just do. You know, that's my takeaway.
Yeah, well said, brother. There's one more clip before we wrap up that I want to share, so I'm going to upload it because it's really a compassionate video. And Brother Jay, I think you're in it, and I think you're also in it, Baraka. So I want to make sure I put this on here because we don't see this. We don't see it in social media. We don't see it in movies. We don't see it in newspapers. Everything is about fear and acidic expressions of relationships between individually, between the black man and the black woman. You don't see healthy, compassionate love expressions. And my heart was touched just now looking at this video, and I'm going to share this so it may be in some form or fashion healing to everyone who's watching.
We say that you don't know the half, right?
Thank you. All right. So, may I ask if anybody else has any other questions, let me know now. If not, I'm going to end this video. But
that was magical.
Support, man. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. We need each other.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Any last words?
At that moment, I believe it was Sister Adara that said that it was a good idea for masculine energy to help ground the feminine in Sister Deborah at that moment. So yeah.
But yes, I do have a couple things to say before we wrap up, if you don't mind.
Sister, go ahead. Speak freely.
Okay. Yeah.
So the mic. I'm gonna pull you right up to the center. Talk to us, Leo.
I shall. So thank you, fellas, for putting on my antics. Thank you, Jay, for having us and hosting us. It was a wonderful space. I look forward to coming back. And you did wonderful. You really, really did. Your energy was great. But we're having an event. Me and Nikki Morgan, who's another Tantrika, Brother Dooley, Chief Nighthawk, Nikki Monty, and we're going to be here in Atlanta doing the Sacred or Interdimensional Journey Week right? It starts April 26th through May 2nd, right? So I'll be doing a Bliss ceremony on Wednesday night. We'll be having a conversation on Tuesday night. We'll be having a very nice sound alchemy ceremony Friday night, which will not be on Zoom, but the other ones there's an option for Zoom. But it's going to be really, really good. We're going to have some indigenous medicines available for people. We're going to have some chill and build sessions. We can talk about some different things. We're going to like realign and redirect your perception about some things, some misconceptions. We're going to deal with that. We're going to talk about this touchless orgasm thing. We're going to do some demonstrations. Like I said, this Bliss ceremony. You guys have not seen this before. I'm pulling some stuff out the bag. So, you might want to be around for that. I'm just saying, like I said, Bro Dooley right here is going to be doing psychic surgery. That's going to be available as well as the medicine. Nikki Monty, she's going to be doing the sound thing. She's on that's Nikki Morgan. She's the other tantrika. She's super duper dope. She's going to be doing the intimate alchemy work. I'll be assisting her with that. It's going to be really, really nice. Really, really nice. Chief Nighthawk is going to be our master of ceremonies and providing some medicines for people. But Nikki Monty is the gong lady, and she plays some amazing, amazing gongs, like the sonic quality of it. Like she has her right there. Yeah, she has some beautiful, beautiful gongs made of some pristine materials, wonderful crystals. She plays them all at the same time. She goes into trance. It's digital. Like I have a short clip on my Instagram if you guys just want to check it out. But it's gonna be really, really, really nice. And we have price points for all type of people. So you can't attend. Like I said, we have some Zoom options. Like everything's not going to be on Zoom, but some things will be. Obviously, you're not going to get no medicine on Zoom, obviously. But you can come for the whole week. No stayover. But you come for the whole week. Starts at 10 a.m. ends at 10 p.m. And it's going to be really, really nice, guys. So you go to the link Sacred Journey Tickets. I think Hank has it up. Or to my Instagram.
You know what? Let me type that in right now.
Yeah.
What's the contact information? Is there a phone number they can call, or just the website?
There is not a phone number actually, but there's an information form on bit.ly.com/sacred journeys tickets. Can I type in the chat? Is that a thing? Can I do that?
Yeah, type it in the chat so I can copy.
Actually, you had it on the carousel on the bottom. It was
I did.
Yeah, that's that link I sent to you.
Let me see.
Yes, you can go there. That's Nikki
information.
Boom, bit.ly Sacred
there
Journey
right there.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so let me see if I can edit.
Yeah, add that to the chat. And if you go to my Instagram, the link is also in my bio, or any of these other people's IG. The link's in the bio. And it's going to be really good, guys. Sorry about the short notice on the marketing, but you can make it. We're trying to make it so accessible for everybody. Please, please, please.
I'm going to put it up right now. And then I'm also going to put that in the show description.
Yes, please.
So here it is.
And actually, I think the other people are on a show tonight. If you guys want to check that out after this, I'll throw it on my Instagram page or whatever else, and you can hear them speaking as well if you're interested.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the show description after we finish up. Thank you for the reminder.
Of course.
And Brother Ricardo.
Yes, sir.
It was an honor having you on the show, bro.
The honor is mine.
Yes, thank you for having us always. I so love how you've been so in my corner since I popped up out of nowhere, man. You've done some wonderful things in my life so far, Hank, and I really appreciate your openness and showing me all this love. I really do. Same to you, Rocka.
You know, the inspiration is that song by Ziggy. Is it Ziggy Marley? Love is my religion.
I think it's Ziggy Marley. I think.
Thank you, Adara. Much love to y'all.
Well, Ricardo and Hank and everyone here, I want to say thank you. Again, the KB Body Bar in Crown Heights, Brooklyn is open to you guys. Ricardo, I'm hoping that you could come back and share, because since you're local, I guess, still in the New York tri-state area. And so, again, if anyone wants regular massages, deep tissue, sports massage, Reiki, flexology, we provide that already in the space at KB Body Bar, Nostrand Avenue 870 Nostrand Avenue. You're welcome to come in. Every Wednesday we have the shaman come through, Dooley. He comes by and shares all the experiences. If you're in the New York area, come and see us, because we're open and we're willing to give the experience of a lifetime for healing body, mind, and soul, and continue to grow in this journey of living in having a spiritual experience in this worldly environment that we're in.
Yes. Thank you, brother Jay. I want to thank.
I think.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, I was saying I think Ricardo has something coming up as well in the New York area for the Black Tantra group, if I'm mistaken.
Yes, please invite me, man. I've been, I want to come and experience more, understand more, learn more, and please give us the invite, and you know where to find us, please.
Certainly. Yes, thank you, Adara. Yes, I work with one local practitioner, and another one also through the Grand Trine system in Charlotte. So we're having a 1-day workshop here in the New York City area on May 7th. For details, more details on it, just tune into blacktantragroup.com or Black Tantra Group on Instagram or Facebook.
Oh man, I wish you would have gave me that earlier. You would be in that ticket tape right here, but that's okay. Thank you, brother.
No, thank you.
Jason Fells, I'm gonna tell you right now, brother. It's good that you didn't get that order in November, because if you had, it would have been now obsolete. Because this whole last week, I've had some radical breakthroughs with crystals, orgone.
I heard.
And so you're in for a treat. So get in touch with me. Email me at rising, RISING. I'm gonna type it in here, brother, so I can pull it up. Rising Sun 999 at mac.com. Make sure I typed it right in the chat. I'm putting it in the chat, Jason Fells. So perhaps it's divine intervention. You didn't get the obsolete design, but latest one I just had. Because what I do, family, I juggle between orders and innovation. And it seems like whatever we're going through in the universe, it's like the innovations are coming through in a faster rate, just like you have the choice of being stressed or empowered. So this is a magical time. We can either be stressed or we can be empowered. But I had to redo my crystals, my orgone, and also it activates water.
I want one. Nikki showed me earlier. I want one.
Yeah. I gifted Nikki a magnetic disc, and she was describing how it was moving through her body, and it looks like almost it geometrically shaped like melanin. That's what's wild. It looks like melanin magnet, and it just works better than anything I've ever dealt with. So just responding to you, Jason Fells. I hope you see that. Okay. Anything else? Baraka, you got any announcements?
No, not at this time, but thank you, everybody. Much love. I really enjoyed spending some quality time with everybody. Y'all blew my mind, for real.
Yeah.
And thank you to everybody in the chat for all the love, you guys. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap it up.
All right, guys. You have a good night.
Blessing. Say often, yes, I am. Supreme shield of protection surrounding me. Yes, I am. Yes, I am remembering all I was born to do. Yes, I am. Take hold of your crystal. which will magnify your I am affirmations at least 600%. If you don't have a pistol, you better. We got Nikki in the queue. What's up, Nikki?
Hey, how are you?
All right. And you'll be able to catch the recording.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, man, it was late.
You was right on time. You caught the end of the graphics.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. We had another.
That was a great show.
Yeah, man. That was amazing.
Yeah, I'm
Great
sure it
show.
was.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice to meet you.
Oh, you still live?
Oh.
Okay, make your Nikki, say your piece, babe. Say your piece.
Say what? I'm sorry.
We're still live, Nikki.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I didn't know. So sorry. How's everyone doing this evening? My name is Nikki Monty. I'm a sonic alchemist, and I will be joining Adara, Nikki, and Chief Nighthawk and Dooley from the 26th to the 1st here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I will be submitting or sharing my sonic alchemy sound session, which is in essence to uplift and invigorate what is lying dormant within you that assists you in your earth walk. So it is purpose driven, and it is a very helpful and transmutive tool that we all use day to day anyway, because we all love music. So this is a very supportive ally if you're on your spiritual journey or if you're looking to embark on your spiritual journey.
Excellent. Thank you. So you're the face before we wrap up the show.
Yes. Well, thank you.
I guess, hey, Baraka, you see how that worked? You can't make this up.
Perfect, absolutely perfect.
And now we bring the show to a close. And what's his name? Somebody says Nikki Monty is fire. Wow, we got comments here. Peace, love, and light.
All right, peace, y'all.
Thank you.
Catch you later, brother.
All right.
They said I'll be there. Okay, sis. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother.
Yeah.